Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and today we're going to look at the top 8 cards from core sets that may be reprinted in Modern Masters 2015. This is the first in a series of speculation videos where we're going to look at possible reprints for Modern Masters 2015 in not only the core set like we are today, but also each block that is in Modern currently. And a couple rules before we get into the top 8. First one, we are speculating on cards that were printed as a rare or a mythic rare, so we're not looking at uncommons or commons for these lists, and we are not counting any cards printed in the original Modern Masters. So at this point, there's been no confirmation that any cards from the original Modern Masters are going to come back in the new set. There is some speculation out there that cards like Dark Confidant or Tarmogoyf that are still very pricey are going to be reprinted, but at this point we have no confirmation of that, and my feeling is there's a strong possibility that they're not going to retread that territory, that they're just going to move forward with a new set with new mechanics and a new draft and limited environment. So we may not see those cards that we saw in Modern Masters 1. This could be a whole new set, and I do think the focus on Modern Masters 2015 is going to be on the sets that are now being featured that were not featured at the time of Modern Masters, like Zendikar. Having said that, let's go ahead and get into the countdown. And we'll start the countdown with number 8, Royal Assassin. And Royal Assassin is a card that's been around since Alpha. It holds a fond place in many players' hearts. Can it hang in the environment of Modern Masters draft? You're paying 3 for a 1/1, which isn't as strong as other creatures that we're probably going to see in the set, but it does have a strong enough ability that it could hold its own in a draft environment, and it may just be thrown in there just for a little bit of nostalgia's sake. Number 7, Howling Mine, and this is another card that sees a little bit of fringe modern play. It isn't a card that needs a reprint by any means or anything like that. However, it is a card that could be fun to play in draft and could create some interesting draft situation. It's a possibility, although a long shot, that we could see this in Modern Masters 2015. Number 6, Coat of Arms. And this is a card that's not going to be reprinted in a regular set release. It's just too complicated and not intuitive for new players to play a card like this. They have cards with similar effects that are a lot simpler to play and use. So we know we're not going to see it there again. Does it get some modern play? A little bit of fringe play again, and it's another card that might be a long shot, but could potentially see a reprint, especially if there's a tribal theme. And there could very well be an elf theme or a goblin theme again in Modern Masters 2015. Number 5, Fallen Angel. And she costs 5 for a 3/3 flyer, which isn't very strong, but sacrifice a creature and Fallen Angel gets +2/+1 till end of turn. This could be a card that gets tossed in just simply as an enabler for a token strategy or a tribal strategy where you have a lot of small creatures and you need a way to go in and end the game. Number 4, Elvis Champion, and she's a 2/2, and she's an Elf Lord, which gives +1/+1 in Forest Walk. She's a card that sees some modern play, and even though it's not a card that needs a reprint due to pricing or anything like that, again, if there is an Elf tribal strategy, there's a chance that she could make it in there. Ensnaring Bridge, number 3. And this is a card that's seeing more and more play in modern decks. And it's just starting to show up in sideboards, and you're starting to see it here and there. A lot of strong modern decks. So it might be time for a reprint for this card, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this one show up in 2015. Number 2 is going to be the Urza lands. Urza's Tower, Power Plant, and Mine. These, of course, see play in the Urzatron deck, which is pretty strong. And now with Ugin being released recently, the Urzatron deck may become more powerful, or at least maybe more desirable to play. Again, it's not something that we need to worry about from a pricing standpoint that needs a reprint, but getting more of these out there may encourage more people to look at Ugin and look at that strategy for Urzatron in Modern. And the number 1 card that we think could be reprinted from the core set is Phyrexian Arena. Again, going under the assumption that Dark Confidant is not going to be reprinted this time around, this is the replacement for that in the set and in the limited environment. And Phyrexian Arena is a very strong card. You pay 3, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose 1 life. It's a very strong effect, and in some ways, stronger than Dark Confidant, depending on the deck that you're running. So that's our top 10 list for core set cards that we could see in 2015. We'll be doing some videos with the other blocks coming up very, very soon. And as we get into some of the blocks that weren't printed the first time around, we'll go ahead and do top 10 videos for those, since I feel there'll be a number of cards that will be reprinted from the sets that we didn't see in Modern Masters 1. So thanks a lot. Please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, have a great day.